What's going on, everybody? My name is Denzel Williams and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the latest iPhone update, which is iOS 18.2. Now, iOS 18 overall has received a few up and down reviews, but I can assure you with 18.2, there are probably some features that you are unaware of that you didn't even know you could do. So sit back, relax, and let's get into it. So one of the first things I want to talk about is the ability to send later. And how you do this, you go to iMessage, and then from there you select the plus symbol. And from that point, you go to send later. And from there, you can go ahead and tap the time and set whatever date that may be. You don't have to worry about your phone. If it's dead or in airplane mode, the message will still get delivered as it just sits on the iMessage servers until that date and time and gets delivered from there. So let's just say, for example, I want to send this at 9 a.m. and I go in and say, good luck today on your photo shoot. And then once I do that, you select the symbol and basically it'll show you that you can send it later. And from that point, you can go in and edit it if you need to go ahead and send the message now, or you can edit the time to change it to a specific date or specific time as well too. So another feature is the ability to lock an app. Now, when it comes to locking apps, this kind of caused a bit of an uproar when it first was released, but at the same time, it could be helpful for you depending on what you're trying to do. I just leave that up for interpretation. But it's very easy and very simple to do. All you have to do is long press a particular app, and then where it says require Face ID, all you have to do is select that and it'll give you a list of options to be able to do so. So you can either require Face ID or you can hide and require Face ID as well too. So if I wanted to just hide and require Face ID, it would verify this. This app will no longer be visible and it gives you a list of different things. No notification, calls, or alerts. You will not receive notifications or critical alerts from this app, and it's obscured app appearance. So you can go ahead and select hide app and it disappears. So from that point, in order to be able to find this app again, you would have to go here to your app library, scroll down, and where it says hidden, these are where all of your hidden apps are. And in order to be able to see that, you do need to have Face ID enabled, because if not, it will prompt you with this below where it says try Face ID again. So in order to see the app, you would need to try Face ID and then it would appear. Now within the Notes app, you do have the ability to do somewhat simple math and from a list of items that you may have. So for me, I just put together a simple list that has book, phone, car, and in that, if you write the same equation there, you can type in book plus car and then hit equal, and it will spit out what the actual value of those particular items are. As you can see, it goes out to 170. So something that you maybe can do real quick if you needed to add up a particular list you may have for the grocery store or whatever that situation may be. And you can also convert. So here at the bottom, what I did was convert 40 miles per hour to kilometers and also $100 to Colombian pesos. So another feature that you may or may not be aware of is the ability to be able to remove people out of your photo. So this could be people, this could be objects, this could be different things, whatever the case may be, you now have the ability to be able to do so. So how do you get there? You select the photo that you want, and then you go here to where it has this little setting symbol. And from that point, you go to cleanup. From there, it'll automatically kind of calibrate itself. And then from there, you'll see these particular objects or people light up where it says tap, brush, or circle what you want to remove, pinch to pan, and zoom. So for me, it's as simple as a tap, that particular person gets removed, another tap, and I get rid of them. And now you have an entire photo to where those particular people are removed. So kind of gives you a little bit more focus on you and whatever that case may be. So definitely check that out. So going into the music app, you now have the ability to search for various musics using natural language searches. And what that is basically you can type how you're thinking in your head. So for me, let's just say, for example, I want to find mellow 90s music. And what it does is it kind of calibrates various songs. As you can see, it says release year 1993 and 96. So it gives you a list of songs that were in the 90s that they believe kind of matches what that particular, word is, or kind of the song and the vibe that you typed in. And for me, that's pretty cool because you're able to kind of find similar songs that may be in a different genre or a song that you may not have heard of, and you can kind of do that. It may not give you the exact search what you're looking for, but it will give you kind of a ballpark. So I hope in the coming updates, this will become even more refined to give you better ideas within Apple's search engine of natural language search. This particular natural language search can also be used within Apple TV as well too. So let's say, for example, I wanted to type in animated movies in the 90s. As we can see, it gives you a list of movies that were in the 90s that were also animated. So again, before you weren't able to do this, and with 18.2, now you have the ability to be able to search these particular items, and it does a really good job of providing you with those searches. Within voice memos, you do have the ability to create layers. This can be great for aspiring artists if you want to create an instrumental and then all of a sudden sing vocals on the top of it. This could be great for you. So all you have to do is press recording, start the recording, and from that point, you can stop it, select this particular icon here, and this plus button now allows you to do a layer. So once you press that particular button, then you'll be able to listen to that track and also record over top of it. So again, if it was a vocal or instrumental, you can keep going and go ahead and pause it. If you want to go back and lower that and go back and replace it, you have the ability to do so as well too. So you can lower that particular layer mix or speed it up, whatever the situation may be, you have the ability to do so. And also, if you do have an iPhone 16 Pro or Pro Max, you can import these over directly to Logic Pro as well. Another feature is being able to limit the speaker volume. Now, sometimes you may watch a video that gives you a bit of a jump scare because you don't know how high your volume is actually, but you can set this volume limit by going to settings, sounds and haptics, and from there scrolling down to see volume limit. And this basically tells you exactly what it does. Set a limit for how loud your iPhone speaker can play audio, such as songs, movies, and other media. This limit does not affect phone calls or FaceTime calls, emergency calls and alerts, ringtones, alarm, system sounds, or Find My sounds. So you can toggle this on, and you do have a maximum limit, volume limit of however you see fit. Another particular feature with iOS 18.2 is the ability to have the volume rocker on the lock screen. So in order to be able to see that, you don't have it initially, and a lot of people complained about this when they were using iOS 18 to begin with. The volume rocker just magically disappeared. But in 18.2, you do have the ability to bring that back. And the way that you get that back is going to accessibility, and then you go down to hearing where it says audio and visual, and from there you toggle this to always show volume control. From that point, you now have the ability to change the volume on the lock screen as you did normally before iOS 18. So now you do have the ability to add type to Siri to the control center. So all you have to do is long press here within this space, or you can go at the top button and press that plus button. From there, add a control and just type in Siri. And from there, you now have the ability to type Siri at command from the control center. Within the control center as well too, you do have the ability to add vehicle motion cues, which again, the same process applies. You go here and now you have it there. And what you can do is you can turn it on, off, or automatically in a vehicle. And this helps out for people who get motion sickness when they're in a car or, truck or any type of vehicle for that matter. You can turn this on. So now I kind of want to get into the Apple Intelligence features, and the first thing I kind of want to start off with is the ChatGPT integration with Siri. Now, in order to get here, this is pretty much disabled by default, but at the same time, you go here to ChatGPT under extensions, and from there you have to toggle this particular function on, and it'll give you like a little prompt to go ahead and do that. Now, you don't have to have a ChatGPT account. So it says sign in here, but you don't have to use that if you don't want to. Another section I want to point out is this daily limit, and this is basically advanced capabilities. So as you see here, you'll have access to ChatGPT's advanced capabilities until you reach your daily limit. Additional requests will use the basic version for up to 24 hours. So with this particular request, it basically is telling you that you can't use the advanced functionalities of ChatGPT, and you have to use the basic functionalities. Again, this does not mean that you won't be able to use ChatGPT for any of your requests. You just will have to use the standard basic capabilities versus the advanced, which gives you a little bit more in depth. The next section is confirm ChatGPT requests. So I would suggest you turning this off, and this basically keeps it from prompting to like, do you want to use ChatGPT? Do you want to use Siri? Basically, it just automatically does it for you, so you don't have to actually put another step in and use that. So I would always recommend just to go ahead and turn that off as well too. But like I said, if you wanted to use your account, you can, but you don't have to use your ChatGPT account if you don't want to. But if you're paying for it, highly suggest you probably just use your account, especially if you're paying for the advanced features. So with ChatGPT integrated, you can basically make your request, Siri, use ChatGPT to create me a 7-day itinerary for Tokyo, Japan. As you can see, it'll say working with ChatGPT. And then it gives me a 7-day trip planned for Tokyo, Japan. Now, again, with the update, you can actually do more. So as you can see, the screen is vibrating, trying to hear the next response. So you can keep going with those responses, but you don't have to. And after a while, if you just stay quiet, it'll disappear. So again, it's up to you to how do you want to use that. But again, you still have to say, Siri, use ChatGPT for XYZ, and that will give you the ability to be able to use ChatGPT for those various requests that you may have. So with Apple Intelligence, you do have a new set of writing tools that you can use within the Notes app. So this basically uses Apple Intelligence to change the story dynamic completely. You can make the tone of the paragraph more so funny or sad or whatever the case may be, and you can do this all with a few taps of the button. So for example, I took The Tortoise and the Hare, which is one of my favorite kid stories growing up. And with this, if I wanted to select this entire paragraph here, and then I will go to here. From there, if I wanted to change this, make this more funny and sad. And what it will do is it will go ahead and change that entirely to, as you can see, it's added a few different things. So you can go back in and screenshot this and read it and see what exactly was changed. But at the same time, this allows you to change the entire story dynamic completely and add on extra details. If you see like there's something wrong or it's not funny enough, it'll do another iteration of that, and then you can revert back to that one, or you can go back to the original itself and then just hit done. So it's up to you. You have the power to do whatever you see fit. But in the event, let's say for example, I wanted to use ChatGPT to compose something from scratch. Basically, you just scroll down here to the bottom and use that same particular button, go down here to compose. And what you can now do is describe what you would like to write, and ChatGPT will create it for you. So you can either select all of those words that are on the screen, or you can tap there and do selected text. Now, I don't have anything selected, so I want to create something from scratch. So let's just do a funny poem about Kevin Hart. And as you can see, it's composing it, and there we go. From there, you can scroll down to where it says suggested by ChatGPT, add more jokes about Kevin's height, include a reference to one of Kevin's movies, make it longer with more verses. So it gives you suggestions based upon what it thinks you may want to add with this, or if you want to rewrite it completely, you have that option as well too. So another feature that comes with iOS 18.2 is the visual intelligence part. So basically any iPhone 16 user, you basically hard press this particular button And what that does is it brings up this new screen that has ask and search. And with this, depending on whatever item that you put in front of it, it's able to understand what that particular item is. And if you want to do a Google search, you can also do that as well to maybe purchase it or see if there are other options online. So for example, if I take this particular SD card and place it in front of the camera and just hit ask, ChatGPT will then process, and then it'll pull up the 128 gigabyte SD card. Now, again, if I want to go back and just do a simple Google search, it'll say searching with Google, and then it'll pull up those various options as well too. So again, very useful if you need to take a picture of something and know more about it. And this also works out on location as well too. So let's say if you're on a trip or vacation and you want to take a picture of a particular monument, you're able to do that and also search it on Google as well too, or ask more about it to see what ChatGPT thinks. Another feature with Apple Intelligence is the ability to use Image Playground. And with this, you can create an original image from those in your phone or create an image from scratch. So all you have to do is go ahead and accept the terms, and also you may have to wait a little bit as well to get access to it. It took me about a day. So I thought it was gonna take a lot longer. I read in some cases it took people a week, but for me it only took 1 day, and I was able to access it and use it to its full capabilities also. So basically what you can do is you can describe an image or add a suggestion from the list. So for example, let's just describe an image of a blue car. Let's also add on a mountaintop. Next to the beach. With the sun in the back. So with this pretty much creates an image that whatever you type in, and you can scroll through those different options to see which one that you may like. So this pretty much takes the entire description, so to speak, of what we put in there to create that image. And if you want to, you can share, save, and copy the image, or you can do with different suggestions. You can put a city behind it or whatever these different suggestions may be. And you can go back in and take those out as well too, to get back to your original particular image. So in addition to be able to create your own original images, you can actually use a selfie that you may have, and that can kind of create your own personal image of what it is from an AI generated perspective. So if you wanted to, you can go here, and what that do is it'll give you a list of selfies that are in your phone, and from that point you can select that selfie and start from that point. Or if you had a particular image that you wanted to use, you can either take a photo or choose a photo. So for me, I'm going to choose a photo, and this is the selfie that I went with. So with this particular selfie, what that does is it gives you an AI generated photo that you can use, and you can kind of manipulate as well too. So if you wanted to put a disco ball, or if I wanted to make the background a beach. So it'll put a beach in the background of that particular photo. Or if I wanted to make my shirt green. And what it'll do is it'll generate what that looks like. So I think it's a pretty cool way, and you can kind of get, a little bit more funnier and more in depth when it comes to these particular options. So you can kind of add on as they go, and you can continue to keep swiping through to see what options that you may have as far as the different variations of whatever you just typed in. So definitely something to play around with, and I think it's a fun way to give yourself an AI generated version of you. And you can also make this version, if this is what you like, you can make this an illustration of you as well. So let's see what the illustration looks like. I'm a little nervous. And this is what the illustration looks like. So again, depending on what the picture is, it'll do what it can to create a new photo for you. So with the use of image wand, you can actually take the words that you've written out and create an image from this. So all you have to do is go to the markup tool, select image wand. You just draw a little circle here. And what it does is points out the key points within that sentence. So tortoise and a hare, under apple tree, and there you go. You have a tortoise and a hare under a particular apple tree. So, and then you just swipe through and see, just like you would in Image Playground, to see which one that you wanted to go with. And from there, you just select done, and there's your image. Also with the image one, you can also create a particular image from a sketch as long as it has words. So basically, you just draw a particular item. Let's bring it down a little bit. Let's do a house. Let's give it a little garage, a little shrubbery on the side, and let's just write, this is my house. That was terrible. And we take the image wand. Let's go around it a few times. Now don't talk about my handwriting too much. Let's see if it recognizes it. So it did create a house. I don't know how good it looks as far as my house, but you do have the ability to swipe through, just like with all of the other options, to see which house that you want. So for those of you who are more of an artist, you can draw in there and it'll give you a better image. So within iMessage, you now have the ability to create your own custom Genmoji. And with this, you can create an emoji to fit the vibe of the combo. So all you have to do is just go to the emoji, scroll down to this particular button right here. And basically what you can do is describe what you want that emoji to look like. So you can create a really unique emoji to combine multiple things. So let's just say smiling emoji with the peace sign. Holding a light bulb. So again, depending on what that particular emoji is, you can go ahead and create that and hit done, and then just hit add. And what that does is it'll go ahead and send that particular emoji there. And if you want to know exactly what you use, you just long press it here, and it basically will give you exactly what that emoji was in its description. So just long press and it'll pull up here. So feel free to get as creative as you want to fit that vibe of the conversation, to add that extra level of laughter or context in all of your conversations. And with that, those are some of the features within iOS 18.2 that I think would be beneficial for you, and also something that, you know, kind of is like, I'm curious to know more about this. And at the same time, I always get the same question of, is it worth an update? Is it worth me updating my phone? I don't like this about it from what I've heard from a friend. I don't like the Photos app. I don't like this. But in any situation, I think change is always something hard to kind of grasp and get our heads around. But at the same time, it's one of those things we have to learn to embrace a little bit. And with that change, there's going to be things that are not going to work good. There's going to be things that are terrible, but there are going to be things that are really good. And there are going to be things that are beneficial for maybe not everybody, but maybe just for you. So I tell people that all the time, find different things within these updates that could be beneficial for you, to kind of be like, hey, maybe I can embrace this a little bit more and come at it at a different angle versus come at it already at a negative angle. But again, if you do have concerns, if you do have questions, feel free to leave those in the comments. And also let me know, what was your favorite feature, or is there a feature that you are too sure about, not too, I don't know, whatever that situation may be or that concern may be, let me know in the comments below and I'll be more than happy to try to help you out. Also, let me know in the comment section as well if you would want a part 2, because I did leave a few things out just because of time constraints. So let me know if you want part 2 as well. I'll be more than happy to put that out for you. And if you stuck around this long, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, much love, peace.